Nintendo decided to, well, there's been leaks for a while, but Nintendo decided to drop Pokemon LeafGreen and FireRed. Now, interestingly enough, these are quite sought after games, especially on eBay. And I thought we'd just have a quick discussion about the price point and basically, is it too expensive? Is it not? And uh, I guess give my argument for and against, I suppose you could say. But what's kind of interesting about this is obviously you're talking 16.99, which I don't think is that is stupidly expensive in the grand scheme of things. Now, I'm not going to play the video for copyright reasons because there's a strong possibility I will get copy flagged, or I don't know, that something will happen. Copyright always does. But I mean, these games are from 2004. I played these originally back in the day. I don't have Leaf Green. The only one I've got of the, well, this is in what, 2004 Game Boy Advance. The only one I've got currently is Pokemon Sapphire, and um, these are very, very good, impressive remakes over the original in a lot of ways. There's yeah, I mean, look at the size there, 39. It's funny because it actually says when you download, it says make sure you've got enough space, like 39 megabytes. If you haven't got 39 megabytes, you're doing something wrong. So it's kind of hilarious, but it's I I'm shocked that they've actually dropped this. I know there were rumors and leaks. One of the leaks was and a lot of you Nintendo YouTubers in particular were saying it's going to be a collection of like Pokemon generations 1 to 5, which I felt was a pretty pretty out there, let's just say. And as for the, like there's a lot of people saying that oh, this is this is crap. It's 17 or it's 17 quid. I think it's 20 USD, and I don't know what it is in euros, but they're all on, and it's specific languages. So English version, obviously English, American, and then obviously European. Japanese is the only version that's getting a, well, not a physical release, but they're getting a release that is like a deluxe edition or collector's edition. It doesn't have doesn't have a physical cartridge or anything. It's just literally a physical bits in it, and I think a digital code. But that kind of sucks if you ask me personally. Now this is available on Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. I mean, any Switch is going to run this. It's a Game Boy Advance game, as you can see. Um, but the key thing about it is based on the Gen 1 games. So Gen 1 games is, and I'm 40, so I'm kind of old. But that's the generation I started with, and it's still, in my opinion, one of, if not the best generations. Obviously, the later generations had a lot more going on in terms of different stuff, different more Pokemon. But I was never one that ever sort of caught them all, I guess you could say. But I enjoyed it nonetheless. And I'm very surprised that they dropped this. I didn't quite believe it. Now let's just make a quick comparison. So, as I said, a lot of people are complaining about the price. It's 16 quid. Now it is very basic. You are talking essentially no online play, no online battling or trading. It's just local, just like the original games, which is a missed opportunity. Um, but these are very much a port, so it just I guess it's just a form. I guess it's a bit lazy, to be honest. They could do a lot more with this if they really tried, but obviously they're not. Um, the price is I'd say £12 would have been the most as such. But let's have a look at the prices. So on eBay, just looking at the prices, you know, it's 17 quid. Boxing car 130, 104, 99 is a bit better. No feedback though. 193, 215, 208. I don't know what the USD price is. That's just for the box. Japanese, even the Japanese games tend to be cheaper. Those versions, even that's 130, 144, 94. That's fake as hell. Authentic. It just looks fake. Look at that. So you are, you know, you're not gonna get these games particularly that cheap. But yeah, so when you put it into context, I mean, 17 quid isn't that bad. It's not the same as having a physical edition. But these games are all damn sight better than anything that's been on, in my personal opinion, that's been on Switch. The stuff that's been on Switch has been, quite frankly, dire. The Pokemon games are, I don't know, some people like Legends personally, but I don't personally. They look naff as hell, to be honest, in my opinion. Each to his own. I get that. Um, so you have to literally check which version you're downloading, so make sure you choose the version that supports your preferred language. Kanto region, and you've got is it the Severs Islands? I don't know if I only ever had Leaf Green, and I think it was a knockoff version, so it didn't work properly. And I had a German version of Pokemon FireRed, which I never played with because one, it was German, and although I could have tried to figure it out, I don't think I ever bothered in the end. So I mean, I don't think it's amazing, but I don't think it's necessarily bad. We've had quite a few insane sort of things going on, obviously bad things as well. The whole PlayStation Blue Point closure, which just sucks. But we've had there's been a few things dropping. I mean, Diablo 2, a brand new character for Diablo 2, a game that is 27 years old at this point. I think I played it originally in 99, and I think I got, or 2000, no, 2000, I think I got the expansion Lord of Destruction in 2001. That's got a new character coming to it, so it's absolutely crazy. And obviously it is Nintendo's 30th anniversary is very, very soon. So, you know, so, I mean, the argument is good, and it's for and against. Against is probably, it is a bit pricey. I'd have said 12 to £13 or a tenner, but they're straight up ports. It's just pure emulation. You're not looking at anything revolutionary. They're not really doing a lot of work with these games. They're probably going to polish them up a bit, maybe work on the screen resolution a tad, maybe up that a little bit, but um, they're the same games. Now, obviously, you can sort of go on the emulation route. You can get the ROMs if you know where you can get them from, and I'm sure you do, as most of us do. Um, that's probably the easiest way to do it. And I'm sure a lot of people have got them, or people have still got the original games themselves, even to this day. And if you have, you're very lucky because they are very kind of sought after now, to say the least. I'm still personally collecting the DS stuff, but I haven't really decided one way or the other yet. There's a lot I want, but we can't have it all, unfortunately. Um, so I guess the argument there is for against it is you've got the emulation. The people own the games in physical form from back then anyway. Some people do that collect, and there are many ways you can get these games on emulation devices. So, but the only way to really play them on a proper Switch or a Switch 2, I personally only have a Switch 1 at the moment. I'm waiting to see what the Nintendo 30th anniversary has and the Zelda 40th. If they drop an Ocarina remake rumors, or there's some truth to that, then I might drop the money on one. But well, we'll have to see because I'm quite happy, to be honest, with what I've got at the moment. Resident Evil 9 is out, or Resident Evil Requiem is out next week, so I'm looking forward to that. And the RAM price things is pretty much destroying a lot of industry at the moment, gaming and other parts of computer and tech and stuff. So prices are going through the roof on stuff. So if you want something, get it now, I would say. But back to the Pokemon thing, and obviously 4. I mean, you can play it on Switch. and Switch 2. It's there for you to play anytime you want. And at the end of the day, we don't know what they're going to show at the 30th anniversary. If they do show, I believe they're supposedly showing Gen 10 Pokemon, which I won't hold too much hope for, because so far the Pokemon games, as I said on Switch, I think have been pretty dire. I know there are people that like them, and each to his own. But I found, I think it was Sword or Shield I played through. I found the game to be kind of dreadful. The mechanics were fine, but the story was just god awful, boring as hell, and bland. And the game was far too easy. I can't speak for is it Scarlet and Violet or the Legends games. I know the Legend games were a slightly different twist on Pokemon, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, I didn't enjoy those games at all. The Sword or Shield, one of them two. I think it was Shield I played actually on Switch. It was just too easy. I know these games are aimed at a more childlike demographic, but it's just far too easy. Um, but yeah, I think it's interesting nonetheless, and there'll be people cheering it, and there'll be people hating it. I guess and I guess that's fine. You have to have a. It's nice to have a good an opinion for and against something. It means people are thinking for themselves and giving an opinion, whether that's good or bad. So I think we need more of that in this life, in general these days with everything. But yeah, so let me know. Are you interested in this? Would you put down the money on this, given the fact it's just literally a digital game? I mean, I'm a physical collector these days, but I do buy digital games when it's convenient. There is something about it, and um, so as I said before, the one for the thing I will say is that the digital codes you have with the Nintendo Switch 2, some of them, it does make me wonder, because they've shut down the Wii Store and the Wii U Store many years back. With these keycard games, you download it to your Switch 2. From what I've seen, I don't have one as of yet. But if you need to get the code off the e-store for the Nintendo shop, uh, what happens if they close their servers one day on the e-store? Are these codes still viable, or can you authorize the codes if those online networks go down, particularly? Nintendo is not one for supporting their online infrastructure, I guess. The best one has been, well, as of now, is PlayStation, is PS3. The online store I did a video on a while back is still going, and 360 I think ended last year, and that was still going. So that's just a question. I'm sure someone can answer that for me in the comments. But I'll leave it there. And are you excited for the next week? I think is the Pokemon 30th Direct, and I'm still waiting to see if they're going to do anything for Zelda. I'd like to see if they do something new for Zelda as well, and move away from Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild. They were an interesting experiment, and I thoroughly enjoyed both those games. But I want to see something different, and also Ocarina of Time remake is quite interesting. I know there's some people that are tired of remakes and they don't want remakes, but I think I think you can have a nice balance of both. I do think there's space for both. Um, and as to them saying, "Oh, it's too expensive," it's Nintendo. They'll nickel and dime you. That's what they do, and they're one of the best at it. However you like, whether you like it or you don't like it. So you just have to just deal with it. I'm afraid it's just the way it is. Many companies do this, not just Nintendo. But it's just that Nintendo are notorious for doing more than most other companies. Um, but anyway, I thought I'd leave it there. I thought I'd just give my 2 cents on this very popular topic at the moment with Nintendo. They've you know they are the masters at this. So I'll leave it there anyway. And thanks for the time. Peace.